Hi, today is March 15th, 2018. My name is Ruby Powers, board certified immigration attorney with Powers Law Group. I'm going to give you my weekly update on immigration news. So let's begin. We're going to be talking about a lot of things that happened this last week, including, first of all, we had the Secretary of State change. Just a couple of days ago, President Trump removed, or what would be the right word to say? We no longer have Rex Tillerson as our Secretary of State. He was notified via tweet that he would be no longer the Secretary of State, and Mike Pompeo is the new pick for Secretary of State, who used to be a CIA director as well as a member of the House of Representatives. So we will still look into this issue and how it impacts the Department of State. This is so fresh; it's only a few days old. But remember, the Department of State has an impact on issuing of visas before people can come to the United States, from student to tourist to E2s. And in general has had a lot of restrictions in the last about 14-15 months. So this is still a developing story. On to another one that recently happened, I believe today, was a lawsuit against the TPS for Haitians lawsuit. It was filed in New York, seeking to operationalize the president's racial animus towards Haitians. Statements from Trump about why he discontinued the program are being used in this lawsuit. So we will wait to see what happens with that, but that's going on. Another thing that's really big for Texas is that SB4, this was a couple of days ago this week, is now into almost full effect, except for one aspect of it. But this is important to know, that it's no longer subject to injunctions. So in summary, what do you need to know? Local officers can now ask for immigration status, but only during a lawful stop or arrest. The police cannot stop someone just to ask them about their immigration status. Local officers are not required to ask about immigration status. They cannot hold someone longer than just to ask for their status or to attempt to verify with ICE. The local officer cannot arrest or continue to hold a person only because of their status. It must be a crime or other reason to stop an individual. And local cities must comply with the federal government, although cities and counties have neutral immigration policies, such as those that direct police officers to focus on local priorities for public safety. So the fight is, well, it's not over. We're going to have to continue to watch for racial profiling, and which is a concern, because who knows what does an American look like? What does a person with a valid visa look like? It could be anybody. So we're going to continue to watch for this. I mean, what we've been saying more than a year ago, I testified against SB4 in Austin. What we've been saying since this bill came to an inception was that people not only do we want to fight this bill because of the unlawfulness, unconstitutionality, but also people need to have a good consultation with an experienced immigration attorney. Just make sure you do that, because it'll put your mind at ease, know whether you're eligible for something or not. And that's one of the key takeaways, besides knowing that this is in effect. So moving on, we mentioned this last week about Attorney General Jeff Sessions is using authority to intervene in asylum cases. About where he was changing a case that said that judges can decide whether or not they think they could review the case to find out if they thought it was going to be a good asylum withholding case or not, just by reviewing it before going to a hearing. So some of the key takeaways that are going on right now: the number of applications of asylum have increased in the years. That's caused Attorney General Sessions to try to eliminate that current administration calls rampant fraud and abuse to cut the massive backlog. So they believe that he believes that immigrants are filing with false claims, and that the factor of the backlog is the constant stream of women and children from Central America who are victims of gangs and domestic violence in their countries. But what immigration attorneys also believe, they're not just all from Central America that claims. There's claims from all over the world. We have a lot of asylum from other countries besides the Central American countries that a lot have come to Texas and to the rest of the U.S. But there's more of a current global situation going on that has increased asylum as well. So basically, Attorney General Sessions is trying in many different ways, from the asylum processing for the affirmative asylum interviews to some recent changes with that the attorneys or a respondent needs to articulate the particular social group before the immigration judge. So there's going to be there's lots of little changes, and it's one of the things we're realizing is asylum was already complex, but it's going to be even more difficult if you don't have an attorney, and they're making changes like right and left. So January 19th, 2018, so just a couple months ago, the Board of Immigration Appeals issued a decision in a matter of WYC and HOB, that an applicant for asylum or withholding making a particular social group claim must articulate that particular social group claim before the immigration judge and cannot advance a new particular social group on appeal. So this makes, judges now are asking for attorneys or applicants to submit a one-page, one-sentence description of what the particular social group is. So what does this mean? It's important to articulating it, this group, is at the onset of the hearing. It also is an issue for people who might have been applying on their own. The law governing the PSGs or particular social groups is a constant flux. For asylum seeker who's not represented before the court, it will often be impossible to articulate that meets a three-part test in these cases that we're from matter of WGR. So all of that being said, there's changes in asylum. There's changes because the government thinks there's fraud in asylum, and you really got to stay on top of all of those changes to make sure that you have a fighting case. And it would be difficult to continue without somebody who has experience in asylum or to try to do it on your own. The other thing to mention is that it is H-1B season. We're all working to submit it by April 1st, which is actually Sunday and Easter, so it's really April 2nd. But there have been a lot of changes under the Trump administration. He's been making the skilled foreign workers in the U.S., it's becoming a little bit more difficult. There was times when he suspended the premium processing for H-1Bs last year, and he's just making it difficult also for entry-level computer programmers, and there's a lot more scrutiny towards companies who hire foreign workers. There's been a decline in the percent of accepted applications, and many skilled workers are looking to other countries. In many cases, the H-1Bs that we had last year did take a lot longer than normal to get approved, and we're seeing a lot of changes there too. So it's just, really, if you were going to hire somebody, you should have already hired someone to be able to meet the cap season for April 2018. But just be aware things are not like they used to be in that area. I think we've covered most things. I think so. Probably there's something important that I'm forgetting. But we've got, so we continue to watch the news and to let you know what's going on. I will be going to DC on April 12th for National Day of Action with the American Immigration Lawyers Association to help lobby for immigration reform, and talking to representatives and senators from the 3 states of New Mexico to Oklahoma and Texas. And I think that's a very important act. We still don't have a DREAM Act. We still don't have immigration reform. We need to be able, a lot of the TPS has been terminated or discontinued after one last time. So we need to still be a voice for the people, and this is really important. And that's one of the things that I'm doing. I'm also organizing advocacy efforts for immigration attorneys for this chapter of those 3 states. And we're also having a festival. We're going to the Nowruz Festival this Sunday, March 18th, from 10 to 9 at the Levy Park. We'll have a booth table and we'll have some fun giveaways, and you'll get to see some of our staff I've heard that's going to be a good festival. So overall, you know, we're staying busy, trying to stay on top of everything. If you have any questions, you always can ask us, call us. This is a bit of a short little Facebook Live today, but you can give us a call at 713-589-2085 with questions, or schedule a consult if you want. And also you can ask us questions on Facebook Live, which are normally on Fridays, but we're doing it early because I'll be out of town tomorrow. Hope you have a great weekend and you're enjoying your spring break. Take care.